Hey, South Africa, how you doing? We're hoping you're staying safe. We're hoping you're staying sane in quarantine, fighting them COVIDs. And to that end, we've got some great artists here tonight that we're going to chat about a little bit about what they do, what they stand for, their music, and you better check them out. These lads, without ado, 3's and 7's, out of Johannesburg, Gauteng, of course, South Africa. Lads, how are you doing?
Great, man.
Good.
Hey, what's
good.
up?
Yeah.
So, have you been going apeshit bat crazy yet, or are you staying sane and positive and productive during this time?
But of
Definitely
both,
the first one.
But of both, yeah, I think.
Well, certainly you guys have been keeping busy, so from the production side of things, 3's and 7's is a band that I've come across now a couple of times in the last year. You guys certainly impressed when I saw you live, and your music that I've been listening to has been really, really exciting stuff, and I'm sure that's been the soundtrack to somebody out there in quarantine. So with that, guys, tell us a little bit about how did you get started, where did 3's and 7's come from?
So it's a bit of a crazy story with regards to how 3's and 7's came to be. I guess the idea of the band started in about April 2018 when I'd recently quit my previous band that I was in for nearly 4 years, and I really wanted to get together with a new group of people and start playing music again as soon as possible. So the first person I approached was Murray, because we'd met each other 2 months before, and he was a singer and a guitarist, so I thought that's a great person to ask to be in a band. So I asked him, because we'd actually been jamming together on campus for fun, him singing and me playing guitar, and he was keen right off the bat. So from there, we just sought out to find a rhythm section, and I knew a bassist and a drummer who played together in a band called Lorenzo the Wolfman, who played some gigs alongside my previous band. So that bassist was Mitchell Cuthbertson, our original bassist, and a drummer named Josh de Klerk. And basically from there, 3's and 7's was officially formed in June 2018, and we played our first gig in August, and shortly after that Josh quit as the drummer. But a week before Josh quit, I had met Lorenzo at a house party through a friend, and I said, hey man, do you want to come play drums for the band? And he said, yeah, absolutely. And he came to audition, and at the same time, a friend of Murray's who I'd also met at the same time I met Murray, named Adrian Schober, he was a singer and a keyboard player, so I thought, you know what, that could be quite cool to actually try experiment with 2 lead vocalists. So Adrian auditioned at the same time as Lorenzo, and they both ended up joining the band, and hence the 5-piece of 3's and 7's was formed as the second lineup. And then recently, Mitch and Adrian unfortunately quit the band, but we now have Alex Olivier as our awesome new bassist.
So for the purpose of those guys that don't know you guys, just introduce yourselves, each of you.
What's up, guys? I'm Murray. I'm the singer and rhythm guitarist.
Hey guys, I'm Matt, and I am the lead guitarist and band manager.
Hi, I'm Lorenzo. I play the drums. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the yet-to-be deflowered new bassist on the live stage.
Yet to be deflowered, yeah, delayed by the big COVIDs.
Yeah.
So, but guys, I mean, let's be honest, hopefully at some time in the near future that'll happen. And more than anything, I think it's important that people listen to your music and then, get that hunger to go see you live. So, talk us in a little bit about, since you've now sort of kind of got 3's and 7's on the cards and you got going, what's been sort of your standout gigs to date? What's been some notable shows that you've done?
I would say the first one I'll mention is the first time we ever played at Rumors Rock City when it still was at Cresta. That was our third ever gig as a band, and it was a notable gig because Laurie actually brought what, like 50 people or something, because he lives in Randburg, and in fact all the guys live in Randburg except for me, so they knew a whole lot of people in the area and just said, hey, come watch us play, and we packed that place out with people, and it was our third ever gig, so it was a jolt.
Oh, dude, Holy Land. That, I'm so pity that place closed down. I mean, obviously the new one is nice, but damn, dude, that one was so many good days. Yeah. Ah, awesome. So you've played the Holy Ground, and what else stands out for you?
I'd say also last year, November, we played the Battle of the Bands at Platteland, which was obviously hosted by Bas de Beer. And it was a really awesome gig.
Champ.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude.
Yeah, that was Kudu
Awesome
as well,
dude.
right? And yeah, dude, and that got some really good reviews.
Yeah. And we actually were friends already with some of the bands that played, like Kudu, like Blowmoord, Sound Warmer as well. And it was a really awesome gig, and the judges, we had a really awesome panel of judges, like some really awesome industry names, and they all came up to us afterwards and said, we really like your band and we hope to see some awesome things happening. So it kind of motivated us into the start of this year to really get our stuff together. And then I would also say another noticeable gig was when we played Oakfest last year, which is the annual music festival that Oakfields College hosts. That was a really cool one because it was an outdoor festival and we got to play on an outdoor stage with proper lights and sound, so it kind of felt like a mini festival almost.
Awesome. And obviously now once we're going to get out of lockdown, you got your eyes set on some big shows, and so there's obviously a couple of things that you're busy working on. But before we get to that, just again, for those folks that don't really know you too well yet, and then please guys, go check them out. They're on all the social streaming platforms, etc. But go check it out, and then obviously go check it out with this in mind. But what would you describe the ever most horrid question of genre? Because we don't want to box it into something. But at the same token, drop a hint there, what you believe people can expect when they go and listen to you.
Their faces to melt.
And what influences you?
There we go.
So what influenced you guys? What do you listen to? What made this melting pot of 3's and 7's possible today?
Well, as far as our band goes, I would say alternative is a pretty safe, broad genre to put us under. But personally, 3 artists that come to mind: Queen, Muse, and Panic at the Disco. For my own influences in the band. Yeah.
And for me, I would say REM, Nirvana, and the Foo Fighters. Definitely my top 3 influences.
Alright, I just got to stop you guys here. How is it that Queens of the Stone Age is not the fucking first question, the answer that you gave me? Because let's be honest, right? I think I've mentioned this before. Like 3's and 7's can only be one of 2 things. You either guys are like solid poker players and you know how to hustle, or you're referring to the Queens of the Stone Age song, right? Epic album, epic song, epic band. So I don't want to cut you short, but am I wrong here, or is that song, is your name sort of influential from that?
Definitely. The song actually, it was actually one of the first songs we ever tried as a band to cover, where we were still the original 4-piece, Josh, Mitch, Murray, and myself. And then when we became a 5-piece, we carried on playing it, and yeah, it basically stemmed from 3's and 7's by Queens of the Stone Age from the Era Vulgaris album. But yeah, you absolutely hit the nail on the head there, man.
Lager.
But the reason we didn't mention it is because too many artists to name for influences, so we just narrowed it down to 3 each.
Cool. Well, without further ado, let's do the other 2 guys. What's your influences?
I'm a metalhead of the band. I listen to metal and stuff, so I've got all those influences. But coming from drumming, I've self-taught myself. So for me, it's YouTube drummers like Matt Maguire, Christina Shianu, Gabe Alguera, just the YouTube drummers.
Last but certainly not least.
I love my reggae, so a huge fan of Bob Marley and the Wailers and the Police. I could go on reggae for about 4 hours.
Awesome.
Let's keep it simple. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Pink Floyd, And
Did you guys catch AWOL Nation when they were here at Ramfest?
I wish.
Yes, they were
wish.
amazing.
I didn't know they came. I think that was before like I started paying attention to how festivals and stuff work. I wasn't even in a band in 2013.
Yes, man. Golden Age of Ram. Yeah, they played. That was when Sale came out. They really, really were good. Now let's go and talk about what people can hear online. But take us through a little bit about the releases that you've got out there. I mean, you've got some live stuff out. There's a variety of things on different channels.
Yeah. So for the moment, we've got quite a mix of stuff on a whole lot of different channels, but I'll explain why in a moment. So the first release we did was we played on the Couch Sessions SA in February 2019, and we'd been a 5-piece for about 3 months at that point. And it was actually, we performed on it, I think, a few days before that Rumors gig that I mentioned, that highlight one with all the 50 people Laurie brought. And we performed, the first 2 songs we ever wrote as a band were performed on the Couch Sessions that day. So we performed our song Free Entities and our other song Stars. And they were very new songs. Stars was, I think, completed about a week before we played. So that's a bit of trivia about the band if people want to know. But Stars has actually become one of our most popular songs, and we decided that we would take the audio from that performance and release it on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Google Play, Amazon Music, and then the Couch Sessions performance is obviously also on YouTube. And the reason we wanted to do that was because we wanted to be on Spotify and say, hey, we're a band that's on Spotify. So that's why we put it on there to start. And then, yeah, it's just because another band that we're friends with, Indie Dog, was also on the Couch Sessions, and they actually encouraged us to go perform on the Couch Sessions as well. And they released their audio from their performance on there. So we thought that's a good start, because then you get 2 live tracks. If you perform them well, you can sort of use them to be like, hey, go listen to our band. So it was sort of at the very start of our career, and we thought that would be a good idea. In terms of the other releases, we released another EP in March, 2 EPs to be precise. But we released an EP of 5 original songs, and that compilation is called Life Among the Stars, live at Railways Cafe. And that one has 5 originals. 2 of them were actually brand new at the time. We'd only performed them live for the second time ever. And on the same night that we recorded that one at Railways, we recorded 4 covers there as well. And that was an EP called Covers. And basically that one consists of a cover of My Hero by the Foo Fighters, Now I'm Here by Queen, Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie, and Other Side by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And those EPs can be found on SoundCloud, and also you can find the music videos for them on YouTube, because we actually recorded the performances from that night and made them into little music videos.
Yeah, and also obviously importantly, guys, to go check you out on Bandcamp, Bandcamp, obviously one of the guys that are doing a lot for artists in this really struggling time right now, with offering all kinds of specials and deals. And I'm encouraged by all the platforms that are coming to the party, that are starting to offer things for artists in this time to expand their income, because let's be honest, stuck at home doesn't pay the bills. So you got to really start finding new ways to make some money. And with that, you guys have just launched a really killer shirt with the guys from Pins and Knuckles with an initiative called Merch Matters, where they really kind of give the, barring some production costs, they really give the line, or if not all of the share of the profits to the artists. And the shirt that you've launched is really rad.
We saw this initiative and thought it was a really good idea. The only problem we had was, what are we going to put on the shirts? So we took the Life Among the Stars EP cover. That's a friend of ours, Kayla, or the K Collective. She designed it. We asked her to just modify this design that she had created to put on a shirt. And we asked her at like 10 o'clock at night, and the next morning at like 10 in the morning, we had a picture.
Awesome.
And there was a couple tweaks that we needed, and then that was it. So yeah, she's at the K Collective on Instagram and Facebook and all those things, and the shirt is on Pins and Knuckles website.
Yeah, Pins and Knuckles merch store. That's your ZF. The guys have got the links there, so go and follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, go check out the live videos, and go check out the stuff you did on the weekend. I mean, you did a little bit of behind the scenes of Stars as well.
The whole motivation behind that was because some of us in the band are really big fans of things like VH1 Storytellers and MTV Unplugged and stuff. So we thought, you know what, who's to say our band can't even do that? So we took Stars, as I said, it's one of our most popular songs, and we decided, let's give them some backstory on it. Let's tell them how we wrote the song, how we what was influencing us at the time, and it was sort of Murray's genius that came up with that song, and it's become, I'd say, one of our best songs we've ever written. And also we recently released a cover of Song 2 by Blur, which we performed in lockdown in our separate homes. And we recorded the audio and the video separately, and then I took the video and mashed it all together, and Alex took the audio and mixed it and made it sound really listenable because it was really, we were working with the limited resources we have. None of us have a studio at home except for Alex, so Alex made it sound great. So you can go check that out on YouTube, but it's been incredibly popular on our Instagram page, much to our surprise, so you can go check it out on there as well.
I said it earlier, somewhere you are the soundtrack to somebody's struggle, or you are the soundtrack to their joy. Don't forget, as artists, I think more than ever, the world is going to take note of what artists mean to people, because they're all sitting at home, bored and browsing the internet and watching Netflix and listening to music. And I hope that out of this catastrophe comes a new respect for our first aid responders and healthcare workers, because they are the heroes right there fighting for us, and a much new respect for what artists do and what they bring for people, So they always got to be, the glass is always got to be half full, So that's what I want to take out of this, and I think you guys giving people new stuff gives them something to look forward to. You're lightening somebody's day somewhere, and I have to now ask that big question: what's next? When do we get an album, or what's in the works? What's coming? Is there EP on the way?
Well, we were very close to actually getting into studio with the big name in the South African recording industry, Clint Watts. We believe he can give us a good start in the studio. So, hoping to record with him once all of this dies down.
You're busy. That's the important thing. You're busy. You are like not just sitting doing
Absolutely.
Nothing. That's important. So we'll check out 3's and 7's, and make sure that you keep an eye on those socials, because everything kind of gets shared there. I mean, the world is a social place. That's where it goes. And anything in closing that you guys want to share before we sign off today?
Be safe. Wash your hands.
And all the other parts too. That's important.
Thank you very much for your time, guys. I wish you only the best of luck for the near future, and let's see you guys rock, and let's see you roll.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.